welcome to the first episode of the True Blue RiffTrax. Woo! Yeah. Woo.
Confetti, fireworks.
Bullet gun. Pew, 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 pew.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm excited. Yeah. I'm Jeremy, and I'm joined, as will be always, by...
Hi, I'm Dave Chadwick, a.k.a. Sugar Ray Dodge. How's everybody doing? Doing. Yeah. That was a great start for me right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Doing good here. It's my birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Figured it'd be the perfect day to kick off the podcast here. Yeah, I just had a brain stoppage.
Yeah, I was about to say, we've already run out of things to talk about. So long, everybody. It's a great podcast.
Yay, thank you. That'll be the first and the last episode. No, I'm just... let's see.
I'm just kidding.
What are we going to be talking about today? Dave has a review of a VOD coming up a little bit later. What movie are we going to be looking at today?
We'll be looking at two, actually. We'll be looking at the release of RiffTrax Live Octaman. And there'll also be something else that I just randomly threw on today. Psychotronic Man from 2017. Which was my choice for Riff of the Year of 2017.
Yeah, it's a very good riff. We will get into that in a few minutes, as well as my short reviews of RiffTrax shorts, where we will be taking a look at buying food. But first, let's take a look at some headlines.
Headlines.
We have proof that vampires do indeed turn into bats. Robert Pattinson is officially the Batman.
I am so happy.
And people are losing their minds.
Freaking out.
And I love it.
Freaking out, and it's awesome.
Love it.
I'm gonna read just a little bit from Variety. He's going from sex symbol to the bat symbol. Oh God, that just came out of my mouth. Sources tell Variety that Robert Pattinson is in negotiations to play the Batman. Oh, wait. Which hits theaters in June 25, 2021. This is what I'm reading here is actually was dated May 16th before it was confirmed. Yeah. Now, it has been confirmed. Now, this went viral across the internet. It's made many people angry.
It was like instantaneous, too.
Yeah, it was just like... And the reason why, I think we all know, the reason why is because Robert Pattinson played the iconic vampire Edward Cullen in the RiffTrax classic series Twilight.
Yes,
and that's why we're talking about it here.
That's the only reason anybody should be familiar with those movies is because of RiffTrax.
I know, those movies are so great with RiffTrax. Oh my gosh, dude.
Unless you're a teenage girl or a middle-aged housewife, you should not be familiar at all with Twilight.
I have a confession to make. I actually tried to read the first book.
Oh, Dave,
why? I did. No, but I got to page 1. I didn't know what it was. I was just like, I'm serious, and I'm like, what is this? Because it came on to somebody recommended it to me. I'm not going to say in what capacity. So I'm like, okay, I'll buy it. It was like $3 at Barnes and Noble because it was just like there's so many of it. It's like, okay, it's just like this. It's this book with an apple, some pasty face holding an apple right there. Okay, yeah, like okay, I don't know it's supposed to be about vampires, and I'm into vampires and stuff like that. And I'm reading it, and I'm just like, what is this? This is like the most boring thing I've ever read, and I started to get angry. Looking back on it, being angry about Twilight, all that stuff, it was kind of a stupid thing to get mad about, back then looking at it. But now it's just like, I actually grew to appreciate Twilight because of RiffTrax. Yeah. And I have two favorite, they're kind of like at the same level. It's House on Haunted Hill and Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1, the one from 2012, the 2012 riff. Those two, I can watch... I don't think I've watched it in a year, but every time I do, I put in Twilight Breaking Dawn 1 and put the riff on, and it just makes me so happy by the end of it, and it just has the perfect credit sequence that RiffTrax has ever done, and it's just like, oh my gosh, this is just perfection, the way that Mike, Kevin, and Bill just carry that entire movie. It's just so great. I love it so much.
All of the Twilight riffs, all 5 of them, are excellent.
Are fantastic. But that one in particular, if you're only going to get one, you should get all of them. If you're only going to get one, I recommend BD1, as I say, Breaking Dawn 1.
BD1.
BD1.
And there's also a little bit of extra news, I guess. Extra rumor to add to this.
It is so great. This is also awesome.
Kristen Stewart, a.k.a. Bella from Twilight, wants to play Catwoman. Ah, yes. We need a Catwoman to stand there with her mouth slightly open the entire time.
Batman and Catwoman can give birth to the Antichrist. Oh, and like the Joker could fall in love with the baby.
You know what? We're gonna add this. We're gonna make this perfect. We've got Robert Pattinson as Batman. We've got Kristen as Catwoman, and Joker, Tommy Wiseau.
Oh God!
Did you ever watch his little audition video that he did to be the Joker?
I haven't. I don't. You know what? I don't think I knew that existed.
It was a promotional thing they did right before The Disaster Artist.
Okay.
Greg Sestero was Batman, and Tommy was the Joker.
Greg Sestero's a genius.
And quite honestly, Tommy Wiseau's Joker is amazing.
I'll have to.
It really nails that psychotic edge like perfectly.
But guys, if you have, I've seen parts of the movie, and I guess the movie's okay. But I mean, the perfect book out there, I think, it's one of my favorite books of all time, The Disaster Artist by Greg Sestero.
Oh yeah.
By that, I mean, like, I bought a copy for me, and I bought a copy for my friend Richard Dutcher, who is a big independent film guy. I don't know if anybody out there would know who he is, but he's famous, and I know him, so I just wanted to say that. That is an absolutely perfect book, and we're going to plug it here on True Blue RiffCast. Go out and buy the book, The Disaster Artist, and read it. It's freaking amazing.
I listened to the audiobook, which is narrated by Greg.
I need that now.
And he actually does a pretty good Tommy Wiseau in it when he's quoting him.
Yeah.
But I burned through it. I had to make a trip, drive a couple hours back and forth. And I turned that on, and I actually sat in the car after I got back home for a while so I could listen to more of it. It was amazing. And the movie is okay, but it does not do the book justice. Just like any other book-to-movie thing, there's so much more in the book that they have to skip over because of time and whatever for the movie. But, yeah, you guys have to either read the book or listen to the audiobook. It is well worth your time.
I don't know. I think the movie Zombie is a superior adaptation to the novel in which it's based, I Eat Your Skin. That doesn't exist. I made that up.
In other news, today, Children of the Corn is getting a special 35-year Steelbook Blu-ray DVD. I can't believe Children of the Corn has been out for 35 years.
And we talked about this earlier. Like 35 years is the What Gift anniversary. It's like, yeah.
It is coral if you're going traditional, or jade for modern.
Yes. So all you people out there with significant others, I don't have one, so I don't have this problem to go out there and buy people expensive garbage. But go out there and buy your corn children corals and jade for this very special occasion.
Just go rip a chunk of coral off of the Great Barrier Reef.
Yeah, I got plenty of it.
Please don't do that. Seriously, please don't do that. You will get in a lot of trouble. But yeah, it comes out today.
Are you gonna get it?
I'm not. I have. I like the movie. I don't think I own it on DVD or Blu-ray. I know I don't have it on Blu-ray, but I don't know. Maybe. I might just end up getting a cheap copy of it on DVD, just the old one. And a little quick snippet here, if you haven't seen it yet. They released the first trailer for the Netflix original series of Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance. and it looks really good. All of the characters are puppets. They're not CG. I was really worried when they initially announced they're doing a Dark Crystal series. I'm like, it's going to be some dumb CGI animated thing. And in box office news, #1 movie over the weekend, Godzilla King of the Monsters, beating out Aladdin by about 7 mil.
Wow, that doesn't surprise me.
Rocketman coming in at 3rd place. That's the Elton John. Yeah, 25 million.
I thought that would be #1.
Yeah, against Aladdin and Godzilla. I mean, I don't know. That's enough of the headlines. Let's move on to short reviews of RiffTrax Shorts.
Yes!
For today's short review of RiffTrax Shorts, we're going to be taking a look at Buying Food, initially released July 10th, 2008. Do you know how to buy food? Do you stop at the store for something for your wife and to make you for dinner and end up with stuff you don't really like? If you answered yes to either of these, Buying Food is the short for you. The star of Buying Food is one Henry Slinkman. Good old Henry went to the store to buy something for dinner. His wife told him just to get whatever looked good. But instead of buying steak-um like a normal person would and should, he buys 3 pints of oysters, 2 rutabagas, simply because they looked unusual, which is never a good reason to buy food, and cake. To the surprise of no one, most of the food was thrown away. The rest of the short is just how to be smart with your grocery budget, looking at grade A vegetables versus grade C vegetables, and talking about how they have such more vibrant color as they show it to us in black and white. But this riff is one of my all-time favorite riffs.
Man.
There's really just something special about it. I laugh just like you just were every time I watch this track. I mean, maybe it's the feigned incredulity of the guys when the narrator mentions the food with a better grade is better quality. Maybe it's all the stuff with Henry. I'm not sure. I just know that I love it. Love it, love it, love it. It is easily top 10 for me. One of those in there. In my ever-shifting top 10 list, this will have a permanent spot. Buying Food gets 5 stale cakes out of 5. And it is, of course, one of my essential shorts.
Yay, shorts!
Yay, shorts. All right. So now we are going to be taking a look at some RiffTrax VODs. Dave, what do you got for us first?
Well, today is June 2nd. The day we're recording this is June 2nd, 2019, which is 20 years and 1 day after I graduated from high school.
Yay!
Hold your applause. Like anybody cares about that.
Yeah.
So anyway, it is the new releases of over the weekend or Friday or whatever was the RiffTrax Live VOD of Octaman, which was which we all saw, especially you, Jeremy. We all saw it in theaters. We all saw it, right? I mean, Jeremy, you saw this.
I
in the theater,
I did. I didn't get to see the live broadcast, but I did get to see the replay. Damn it.
Okay. I just wanted to rub that in. If you were a Kickstarter supporter at the appropriate level, you got this. You got the VOD for free, I suppose. And you were also able to get it if you weren't a Kickstarter supporter. And if you're not, why not? Feel bad for yourself if you're not.
Do it.
Yeah. But they released it, and you can get it at rifftrax.com. I remember sitting in the theater watching Octaman, the RiffTrax Live version, of course. And for like the first time at a RiffTrax Live event, I caught myself scrolling through my phone. Not because of RiffTrax, but because I think it's a very interesting selection for a RiffTrax Live event. Because if you look at, the history of RiffTrax Live, and you look at the movies that they select, they're either movies that are kind of significant to the RiffTrax community or to kind of bad movie enthusiasts, that kind of thing, which I guess Octaman is. But Octaman is not it's not like something like Krull or Space Mutiny or something. It's not something that like a super lot of people are familiar with. It's more of I would say it's more of your average kind of RiffTrax kind of fare. You know, you have something, like Invasion of the Animal People or like Crater Lake Monster or something with like some really bad stupid monster effect in it. We really haven't seen something like that picked as a RiffTrax Live selection before. And the movie can get kind of plotting, be like, I was still like, yeah. And Bill actually quits RiffTrax. It's a bit, I know, at one point, and I watched this thing in its entirety earlier. I didn't know. I had to go to Wikipedia to find out what country they were in. Apparently, it was Mexico, but for some reason, I thought, or I missed somehow that they weren't in some. For some reason, I thought they were in South America. Okay. Yeah. I'd be like, what country are they in? And then by the end of it, it's like, I don't know any of these characters' names. I don't. It was like Frankenstein's Island. I don't know who these characters are. I don't know what they're doing there. I just know that they suck and that I hate them and that I want the monster to kill them all. It's very interesting. Now let's talk about the Octaman monster suit for a minute. So when you go into Octaman, and you go into like his VOD, not his VOD, his POV. When we look at the characters as Octaman, as Octaman's little play toy children, you look at it, you look at it, it's like, okay, we're seeing everybody like in segments, like you have segmented eyes, but Octaman and his kids don't have segmented eyes.
No, they have. It looks like cat eyes.
Yeah, they're cat eyes on an octopus, which is fine. Let's get one thing right, And but the Octaman, it's never really explained like what the hell this thing is. It's a rubber suit, obviously. I'm not sure if there has really been a worse. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is kind of like, I know there have been like 250 feature film releases, not to mention all the countless bad costumes that have been in the shorts. Can you think of something that looks more fake and stupid than the Octaman? Just like in RiffTrax, can you think of something that looks more fake and stupid and plastic than the Octaman costume?
No, honestly, I can't. Like, I'm thinking, Crater Lake Monster.
That was an effect.
Right.
Okay,
it wasn't even a suit. I can't even think of creatures in. Okay, the only one that looks worse, and technically, it's not in the movie, and I know it sounds weird, but Curse of Bigfoot at the movie that the students are watching at the beginning, that creature was god awful.
Oh no, wait, I take it back. You're okay. I think it's got to be second because I up on my PS4 on my big screen TV right here in front of me. I have my RiffTrax catalog up, and I just hit over to look at the 2018 releases, and I gotta say that we were mistaken, and that we have to say that this is the second stupidest costume or monster in history, and I think you know where I'm going with this now.
I'm fairly certain I might.
So the one that does beat Octaman, and I'm glad that I caught this because it's a big omission. It's a big mistake, and I wanted to correct it. The worst that beats Octaman is the god monster from Indian Flats.
Yes, the
sheep monster. Yeah,
sheep monster, the skull head and Snuffleupagus with mange.
Yep. So that's it. Mea culpa. Octaman, you're better than the sheep monster from God Monster of Indian Flats. That's
barely.
Yeah, that's like, but I don't know if that's something you really need to be out there bragging about. Octaman, you should still feel bad about yourself.
Yes.
Okay? For
many, many reasons.
Yeah. So that's kind of really all I have to say about Octaman. The riffing is top notch, of course.
Of course.
Bill quitting RiffTrax in the middle of that guy Just,
that was a great bit. That was the second time through the tunnel where we got to see the entirety of the tunnel.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's all about Octaman. Do you have anything else you want to say about Octaman?
Yes, I do. First of all, Dave, shame on you for using your phone in a theater. Secondly, I would like to discuss the short before this one.
Oh, McGruff.
Yes, they got a McGruff, the crime dog short for this. Anybody who's my age is going to remember McGruff, the crime dog, and probably Scruff, his little nephew. I think it was his nephew. I don't think it was his actual kid, but like I remember the stupid jingle still. The Scruff, McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60653. Which,
what?
Yeah, you could write to them.
You would write to the wow
to McGruff the crime dog, yeah. But that short it's all about poison and drugs, especially free illegal drugs. You seem to really push that in that one.
You're very concerned.
I don't know. I never noticed it at any of the schools I went to, and we moved around a lot. Like every year and a half, I was in a different state in a different school. I never once saw any older kids just giving free drugs out to the elementary students. like they showed at all these old drug things.
Can I make a shocking admission?
Yes.
I don't know how to buy drugs. I've never had drugs in my life. I've never met I'm sure I've met a drug dealer, but I mean, just you ask me about like drugs and how to get them. The only way I would know is from the RiffTrax shorts that I've seen. So like, I wouldn't know a drug dealer if he came up and bit me in my face. So
it might happen if he's dealing bath salts, but I actually started to get the McGruff short confused last night. When I was rewatching through the Octaman live show, I sent Dave a message and I asked him if the short had been edited at all, because I was confusing it with a separate one where there is a little kid eating like a powdered insecticide or something in the garage, and I for some reason mixed that up with the McGruff one. So I was getting a little confused in my old age with that, but overall it's a good show. When I got out of the replay for Octaman in the theaters, I was shocked to find out that indeed only 2 hours had passed since the start of it, and not in fact 5 days, which is what it feels like when you're watching Octaman.
Was it 2 hours long?
Well, no, Octaman was actually only an hour and 70 minutes, or 70 minutes total. Hour and 70. See, I can't even. My brain, it just killed my brain. No, it's a very short movie, believe it or not.
Yeah.
It feels like it's super long.
It feels like it's really long. Yeah, it's because you're just like, and you don't know who any of the characters are, nor do you care. You actually kind of want them all to die because they're all terrible.
That is the true hallmark of an extremely terrible movie, when you actually want all of the characters to die. We've seen a few like that.
Well, that's all I got to say about Octaman. What about you?
Yeah, that's it. I'm done with Octaman.
So let's go from one man to another man, from Octaman to the Psychotronic Man.
One in alphabetical order. I like it.
Oh, dang. Hey. Yeah, I'm going to pretend like I did that on purpose. But the Psychotronic Man, it's about this. This came out on September 22nd, 2017 at RiffTrax.com. Fairly recent. Now, you remember 2017, right? I mean, it wasn't that terribly long ago.
Mostly.
Right?
I remember it.
Now, RiffTrax in 2017, that was a pretty crazy year. They were just like throwing craziness at us here. Let me pull up the thing here. Let me pull out my thing.
Hey, it's a good thing this is audio, Dave.
Yeah. It started out with The Wonderful Land of Oz, and that was in February. And then we had Replica, Retro Puppet Master, Ator, the Fighting Eagle, Day of the Animals, and then things started to get super weird. I would say things started to get super weird with Day of the Animals.
Yes, I agree.
But things got even weirder It came off with Grizzly, and then came Star Wars Rogue One, which was just vicious, biting. I mean, you and me have talked about the Star Wars Rogue One riff at length. I'm sure we'll talk about it again. Everybody go out there and get that if you want to just have like white hot, razor edge resentment and just biting, just like it's like the meanest RiffTrax you'll ever hear, and it's awesome. Every line is like an A+ winner. It's great. Then came Star Games, a movie that just wanted to throw crazy at you every 2 seconds and just top itself.
The first of the Great and Clark movies that were released just in 2017.
Just in 2017. If that was Uninvited.
Just within a couple months of each other.
Yep. Then came Uninvited. And then we had a great one from our friends, the RiffTrax, as affectionately called.
Yes.
Matthew J. Elliott and Ian Potter from Hangar 18.
Yes.
Conspiracy theorist movie featuring the guy from A Christmas Story. Great riff from those guys.
Outstanding. A lot of people, they don't even give the other riffers a chance when they release stuff like that, whether it's Matthew and Ian or Bridget and Mary Jo. But guys,
or Cole and Janet.
Yeah, you guys are missing out, man.
Yeah,
you guys are missing out. Seriously,
and if I might say, you suck and you're terrible people if you don't try those guys out. So go ahead and get on that, and you'll be better people for it.
Yes.
Anyway, then we had The Little Unicorn, blah blah blah.
Game of Thrones, The Red Wedding.
Yep.
Which still blows me away that they did it.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, you and me were talking about that the other day. Merlin the Return, and then came Psychotronic Man, which is a movie that is so bizarre, so that like I just became it was like Roller Gator in a sense, which is awesome. And anybody who doesn't like Roller Gator, on you. But Rocky Fosco, Mr. Fasco, he's this wonderfully awful barber in Chicago who cheats on his wife. And he gets abducted by God knows what, like cloud people or something in his car. He ends up getting psychotronic power, which I guess you can like mentally like kill toothless old men in their cabins.
It's kind of like Scanners, but not as good.
Yeah. And it's just like you just don't know what the movie really is, and it's just so wonderful. It's like so amateurish in a very charming Guy from Harlem way, where you have just like you just follow this hapless dope, and it's actually much more exciting than the Guy from Harlem, honestly.
Which you wouldn't expect.
No, you really wouldn't. And then he just murders these people. Ends up, I think his wife is dead. I'm not sure.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, and his car blows up. That was awesome too. And then the movie just gets weirder, like especially towards the end. It's just like, what just happened, right? So I guess like some secret government agency was following him. Anyway, it was my Editor's Choice Award for 2017 at the Riff Wiki, and I gotta say, guys, it's a deep cut that deserves to be more heralded than it is. And I say it. I mean, like it's only $9.99 if it's not on sale. If it's on sale, get it, fine, whatever. At least $7.99. But go get it. It's worth the $10, you cheap bastards. Okay, go get it. It's great. I love it. I mean, Psychotronic Man, A freaking plus.
It is literally one of the weirdest movies that they've ever done. And they've done some pretty weird stuff.
They've done God Monster of Indian Flats. They've done some weird stuff.
They've done
Psychotronic Man, yeah.
They've done Ruby.
Oh, yeah. We'll save that one for another podcast because that's like a whole 10 minutes there. My God.
The thing that I thought was really funny was finding the guy who plays Rocky Fosco. His name was Peter Spelson. He was only ever in 2 movies.
He's dead now. Yeah.
Yeah, he died in 2006. He's from Illinois, which makes sense, But the other movie he was in is actually one that I've seen, and I know I've told you about it, Dave, and I've mentioned it to a few other people. It's a movie called Blood Beat.
I think
that's the one where it takes place in rural Wisconsin, and it's about the ghost of a samurai warrior coming back and murdering people.
Wait. What?
And Peter plays Uncle Pete. He is one of the casualties in the movie. That's pretty much his only job. I think maybe he's in 2 scenes, and one of them is him being killed by the samurai spirit in Wisconsin.
Sounds like a canon movie, honestly.
Surprisingly, it's not.
Okay.
But 1983 Blood Beat, yeah.
1983 Blood Beat.
Just got to drop that little tidbit in there. That's your.
Sounds like it could have been a candidate for another show that's similar to this that we're not going to talk about. Anyway.
Is that it for Psychotronic Man?
I think that's about. I mean, there's really not much more to say about it. I mean, the guy's a total scumbag, and he deserves to die, and he doesn't. So.
Yes. Well, let's see. What do we got coming up in the world of RiffTrax? Coming up this week, if you're somebody who lives in an area where your theater didn't screw everything up this year, go check out RiffTrax Live. Star Raiders, The Adventure of Saber Rain. No, I am not going to get off that ever. I have been dragging the theater chain on Twitter. And they keep responding with like sad gifs of people. And I keep telling them that it doesn't have to be this way. All they have to do is fix the problem. But yeah, Star Raiders, The Adventure of Saber Rain, starring Casper Van Dien.
Woo!
Also known as Ray Brady from the classic movie Sharktopus versus Whale Wolf.
Oh, God.
2015, just by itself. He was in Patient Killer. Avengers Grimm as Rumpelstiltskin. June, Fire Twister, Sharktopus versus Whale Wolf, and Rat Apocalypse.
I'm looking at his IMDb right now. I mean, obviously he's best known for the RiffTrax Live classic Starship Troopers.
Yes.
Which is totally a movie I haven't picked fights with people on Facebook.
People think that it's a good movie. Because
when
they saw it in 97 when it came out, they were teenagers in high school. They thought it was this amazing biting satire, and it's not.
No, it's just a horrifically offensive piece of bigoted garbage against the military. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, I'm not going to apologize for it. If you like that movie, sincerely, not ironically, if you sincerely like that movie, you should feel bad about yourself.
I enjoy watching the movie.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying, don't do that. But I feel like this is genuinely a good movie. This is brilliant. No, screw you.
No, it's entertaining. It's not good.
No.
It's definitely not in any meaning of the word a masterpiece, which I recently saw it described and may or may not have been the person that Dave tried to pick a fight with.
Not tried.
You did. You definitely did. And then I left the group after that. Totally unrelated.
He was so embarrassed by me that he left the group.
I can't be associated with this man. I'm going to start a podcast with him. Wait.
Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Yes. Also in Star Raiders, Cynthia Rothrock.
Woo!
The ass kicker herself.
Also known as Mrs. Santa Claus in Santa's Summer House. And some crap called Honor and Glory.
Honor and Glory, yes. Which she was in, and she barely kicked anybody. And same with Santa's Summer House. If you're going to have Cynthia Rothrock in your movie, and she's not kicking the bejesus out of people, why is she there?
No, she's there to play croquet and, whatever the hell else happens in that movie.
It doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, Star Raiders Adventure of Saber Rain, it only came out 2 years ago.
Yeah, only. they make a big deal about it, say that this is the most recent thing they've ever done, even though it really isn't. But whatever.
Well, for a live show.
As far as VODs go, yeah, I mean, I get that part.
Yeah. If you're talking MP3s, then obviously not. But
unfortunately, I might have to for the first time ever, I might have to catch the rebroadcast.
Oh, it's your
first time ever. I might have to catch a rebroadcast because I actually have a wrestling show that I'm going to be wrestling at on that. Well, it'll be a couple days later, but I'm still training up for it, and I might have to go to training that night. But I don't feel quite so bad because, well, it does say RiffTrax Live. It was kind of recorded 2 months ago. But
yeah, this one's weird because they recorded it the night before they did the live show for Octaman, which is fine.
I mean, it's cool. I mean,
it makes sense for them to do it that way. I've seen a lot of people complaining about this, and I'm just gonna touch on this a little bit, and then we can move on. They're complaining that it's not actually a live show. They're saying it's stupid that they did it this way, and I didn't even realize they were doing it this way at first. I found out later, and I thought it was kind of weird. But then the more I thought about it, the more sense it made. Because when they do their live shows, everybody that works for RiffTrax goes to Nashville,
and they don't all live in the same place. It's not like the early days when they were all in San Diego.
Right.
No,
we've got
everyone's dispersed now.
In Oregon, in New Hampshire, or Vermont, somewhere.
Vermont.
And they're all over the country.
If Connor heard you thought that he lived in New Hampshire, he'd get super pissed off.
One's the upside down version of the other one, so it doesn't really.
Oh, all right.
No, but it costs them money to do that and to put them up. They have a rental house that they get, and it's not cheap to do that. So if you're gonna do it, why not do it just for a week at a time instead of a week here and then a week in June and then a week in August?
Yeah.
For a week here, do two shows, whatever. That's fine. It doesn't bother me.
Because they used to do this 4 times a year: June, August, October, and December. And they would all go to Tennessee to do this. And I imagine it was a gigantic pain in the ass. And that's one thing I think if we ever get somebody on the podcast who can answer this question. What I want to know is why Nashville? I mean that genuinely. I always wondered, what is it about the Belcourt?
Yeah, I've always been a little curious
that they go there for. I mean, I've gone there to in 2016. I went to Mother, and it's fantastic. I loved it. I'm going to do it again someday.
Shut up.
But I always wondered, what's the connection to RiffTrax to the Belcourt? I think that's a cool story that I want to ask somebody, and I want to get an answer to. Yeah,
I've never actually looked into that because maybe it's been asked before, but I'd prefer not to know until we get to ask it ourselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna do it for us, guys. You can find me, Jeremy, online, pbandawesome.com, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube at pbandawesome. You can send me an email, Jeremy at pbandawesome.com. I also got some stuff up on Instagram and crap like that, but everything's spelled differently and all that stuff. And nobody cares. Nobody cares about Instagram.
Yeah, I sure don't. Yeah, I'm Dave Chadwick, a.k.a. Sugar Ray Dodge. You can check me out on the web at sugarraydodge.com. Send me emails at sugarraydodge@gmail.com. I'm a graphic designer. If you want cool graphic stuff for me, send me an email, and I can do that up for you for money. I also wrestle locally as Charlie B. I'm going to be in the Rocky Mountain Rumble on June 8th. 2019, and it's going to be a super awesome fun time. I'm going to get my ass kicked. I'm not going to win, but it's going to be
spoilers.
Yeah. I know the outcome, and no, I don't win the Rocky Mountain Rumble. I hate to break it to you, but I'm not winning that thing. But yeah, so that's all I got. Oh, and be sure to check out RiffTrax.com for all the great stuff there, which is the thing that we're talking about.
We will see everybody next week for some more True Blue Riffcast.